I'm here. I'm just going to wait for somebody. There ain't nobody here yet, so I'm just waiting. Hey, guy. Yeah, it's cigar time. What do you got for me? If you want, you can go to my community tab, go to my channel, go to the community tab, and you can join that link and you can stream with me live. Yeah, yeah, if you guys want to. Or you can ask me anything. You could talk about politics, about how great Donald Trump is, or how terrible he is. Anything you want. I'm curious what's going on tonight. Want to see The Office? How's that? How's that for an office? That's right. You like that office? Built it myself. Yeah. What do you guys got? Dude, it's a beautiful day. You know, another day of the Trump administration. Another day of justice. Cigars are not good for you, but I'm bored, and it's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night. Got my YouTube robe on. See that? It says YouTube Shorts. See? See that? Isn't that cool? YouTube Shorts. Yeah, YouTube sent that to me. They send weird stuff every once in a while, just to, I don't know. What's up, man? What's up, Rasta man? Yeah, I got my thing here, huh? Almost done. Really enjoying it. So, what's going on in your life? We'll go inside eventually. Then I can go crazy, talk crazy. It's my old YouTube channel, Dog Go Running. Changed my name. My new name is Found Worthy. Found Worthy. I guess I could talk about that. So my first name was Dog Go Running, which I thought was a cool name. But, oh, thanks, man. We'll take a look at it. Yeah, I'll show you what I did. I got cameras and everything. I got the cameras turned off right now. I got a few cameras. Got a camera over here. Got a camera over here. I got full security, man. Built my own house. Yeah, myself. 3:05 in Germany, bro. That is crazy, man. I usually get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, so three. Yeah, I'm usually in my office by 3:30 here. I don't sleep very much. You know, what am I doing? I'm just smoking a cigar. It's not good for you if you're younger, but I enjoy it. It doesn't go in my lungs. I don't like anything to go in my lungs because I hike and stuff. And it's not cool. It's just not cool to have something go in your lungs. Where do I live? I live in California. Beautiful California. Hmm. Got the mountains over here. I don't know if you can see them. See the mountains way up there? I'm really close to the mountains. See the mountains? Yeah. Mississippi. Man, Mississippi. Scoop. No kidding. I'll get with you in a second, man. Yeah, Mississippi's good. I used to live in Virginia, so I'm pretty familiar. I owned a house out there, about 300 acres. Yeah, I thought I was going to retire out there, but I ended up coming here and building this house and retiring in California. Scoob. Scoob just lost a homeboy, Wyatt Power, to fentanyl today. Man, I am so sorry, brother. Yeah, I was homeless for quite a while, and I've lost quite a few friends due to drugs. It's usually because someone gives them $20. $20 is usually enough to do it. Like if one of my friends would get like $10, that was pretty much fine. But if someone handed them like a 20 or 40, we had one guy hand one of my friends $100. Never saw him again. I'm pretty sure he OD'd someplace. He was like, I'm leaving. I'm going. Yeah. Yeah, right. He went down the street, got high, 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 high. And there was always ambulances coming and picking up different people ODing on heroin back then. But I was into the old crack cocaine. I'm not afraid to talk. I'm successful now, so I'm an open book, man. So, is it cold? No, this is my smoking jacket, my YouTube smoking jacket that they sent me. So I figured I'd start smoking cigars since they sent me one. Okay. If you want, you go to my uh, community tab, and you can click on that link, and you can join me live. You can stream with me if you'd like, side by side. I'll be on one side, you'll be on the other side, and we can listen to you also. OC California is the most popular series. What is that? That's about doctors, huh? Yeah. Educated types. Yeah. I'm pretty down on educated types because they're really opinionated. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm really opinionated. But I've traveled the world, and I've worked with a lot of different people. I know how ignorant I was when I first joined the military. I had these, and I thought I was real worldly. Before I joined the military, I even went cross country 3 times. Lived on the East Coast, the West Coast, met all kinds of different people, black, white, all kinds of different people. But until you sleep in the same room with about 100 people, you don't really get to know people. You really don't. And my civilian counterparts, I'm going to tell you, you all have some problems getting along with each other. I mean, big time. Like some of the stuff these politicians say really pisses me off. You know, what do you do? Do you game? I don't. I saw a driving game that I really like, though. This guy had like 3 different screens. I guess I could do something like that in here. Yeah, I'll show you guys. I can show you around. I can't mention certain things on live, but I can kind of have the camera go by them. But yeah, and just so you know, I'm not a soft target. If anybody's thinking about visiting, because I got cameras everywhere. This is I got my property dark right now. I got it dark for a reason. I don't want no one bothering me. Got my wife sleeping, so I darken the whole house for her. My dad is about to retire this year. He is doing 20 years. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yep. I hope he saved money. I I got the 20 years military, so that gives me my medical benefits and some retirement cash. But I have a couple companies and businesses and trademarks. I also was in sales for about 2 years after I got out of the military, and that's what enabled me to build this beautiful house. This house is, and I built it myself. Yeah, I wore the belt. I did have a friend that helped me that was a professional. He'd come by and call me a dumbass. That's about it. That's it. He did help me build the back room because he's a framer. I can do everything else though. I can't frame. I mean, I could guess how to frame, but I don't know how to frame a house. I don't. It'd probably fall over. Framing is important because if you don't frame it right, your windows and everything will crack, and that's not cool. That's not cool. Or your house will fall down. Framing is that's some experience. So how much is a bottle of ketchup in town? Probably about $3. It's pretty expensive here. So any suggestions on how to not be broke? Yes, yes, absolutely. I was a finance guy in the military. So I did quite a few different jobs. I was also the exercise guy. I don't sleep, guys. I really don't. I sleep about 3 hours a day. Everybody says I'm going to die. I'm not. I'm probably the healthiest guy you've ever met, except for the cigar smoking every once in a while. But I don't sleep. I don't know, man. I don't need to. I'm just, and I even apologize for myself sometimes. I tell people I'm a little too much. I know I'm talking too fast. I'm sorry, but that's just me. You know, get me doing something, I'll be fine. Your house is a wooden one or what? It is, well, it's got wood framing, but it's stucco. So it's concrete. See? Not that thick. So it's concrete. So you being from Germany, you're from Germany, right? I think I got that right. German houses are made out of stone, and that's because you guys got no trees, right? Not very many. We have a lot of trees. They burn all the time too over here in California, but we have a lot of trees, so it's really easy to build a frame. But yeah, my house is built pretty good. Yeah, I got soundproof windows, everything. Yeah. I mean, I built it myself, did theater insulation on the inside, so it's real quiet. Sharp Penguin says, "Can you make a video sometimes on making a bed? I've been loving your folding videos, helping me out get squared away like you." Absolutely, man. I know how to make a bed really good. I'll show you how to do those navy corners. I think I'll do that. I could probably do that tomorrow. I'll work on that. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Cool, Bob. I appreciate you subscribing. Yeah, I like to do some funny videos, some politics. I do. I'm a conservative, so some people don't like that and they get all offended. But I always try to listen to everybody. Every once in a while, I get emotional and I'll say Democrats freaking suck. Blah blah blah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really am. You know what you support is like a progression. And before I had children, I was a Democrat. And now that I have a kid and a family, um, I'm definitely a Republican in the current situation that we find ourselves in. There are some Democrats that I enjoyed working for, and Clinton was kind of cool. I mean, I kind of liked him. The economy was going pretty good. He had some real. I didn't really have many problems with him. I really didn't. I don't like his wife, but he was pretty cool. I didn't like the Bushes at all, and I work for them directly. And Trump, um, the first term, I don't like his first term. The way, I mean, we got masked up. He didn't know very much. He really didn't. He was very inexperienced with government, and I think it showed. It really did. But he's a good guy. I think this time will be better. I'm hoping so. But he doesn't know government. Government is really important to know, and I hope he's surrounding himself with some good politicians. Because I worked for government for 20 years, and dude, yeah. And I'll go back to how not to be broke. I'll give you three things. Okay, I promise. It's about quality sleep. Yes, I don't get very good quality, but I will take a nap sometimes. Yeah. Can you start playing Roadblocks? Yeah, that would be fun, huh? Sharp says, "Thank you. I love your videos. Definitely an idol of mine now." Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. So, how to be wealthy. Okay. If you are in your 20s, never buy a new car. Ever, 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 ever. Okay. Don't get a car loan. Don't. Now, even at my age, I'm 52, and with the interest rates I get, I did finance about $10,000 of my last car. Okay. So my budget was like 60 grand, and I wanted something a little bit nicer. So I was like, you know what? I'll pay cash and I'll finance 10. Okay. Dude, I'm going to tell you, man, I don't have problems paying my bills, but dude, paying that 10 grand off is a real pain in the pickle, dude. It's like 600 bucks every month. Dude, it freaking sucks. And it's still there. I mean, it's halfway gone. But dude, A car loan is the biggest drain on your life. You don't need stuff like that. You really don't. My first brand new car, I didn't get until my 30s, and I got a great deal on it because I was in the military. So they had something called military sales. So I was coming back to America, and I could purchase the car from a dealer in Japan and get like 5 grand off. It was literally cheaper than a used car. And that was a brand new Jeep Wrangler, which I ended up selling for a huge profit because it was one of the unlimiteds. So it was collectible. And someone offered me a ton of money for it. And I was like, I sold that sucker, you know. So how much money do I have? Well, I have enough where I don't need to work. Yeah, at all, if I don't choose to. But I do. Um, I constantly start little trademarks or little businesses because opportunity is always here, and I'm always investing in new things because I've traveled the world about 3.5 times. Didn't quite get around there four, and I've lived in multiple countries, and I've owned property on both the East Coast and the West Coast, and I've learned a lot. So when I see something that I know is going to do well, I purchase it, because history always repeats itself. That's just the way it is. You make videos on roadblocks. That's awesome, man. Those gaming channels are the bomb. They're great, man. They're fun to watch, and then some guys even talk at the same time. I like that. California is expensive. Yeah, California is really expensive. Um, but if you get in a nice neighborhood, it's real nice. See, over here in California, we have zip codes. On the East Coast, they don't have that. So, for instance, if your school is doing really good on the East Coast, they do something called busing, and they destroy the good school to make the inner city school a little bit better. And then they find out that it has nothing to do with the teachers, it has to do with parenting. So, now I will tell you, if you want to retire young, you need to secure medical benefits. Okay. So, right now, probably the best thing to do is get into nursing or some sort of medical field that offers lifetime medical. If you can do that and save your money and invest correctly and set up a business on the side that brings in cash, all right, on a monthly basis. If you work at a job, you're there for 20 years, right? Give your job 100% when you're there. When you're there, give it 100%. Do your boss's job. You will move up. I guarantee it. They always promote people that work hard and smart. Always. Okay. But when you come home, you need to come home and brainstorm. You find another rich guy and you listen to him and you talk to him, and he's going to tell you what you need to do. At first, it's going to seem overwhelming. Okay. Because rich guys got a lot of things going on. We've got everything. We've got insurance, we got investments, we've got life insurance. Everything that I own is insured, including my mortgage. Everything's insured. Absolutely everything. I don't leave anything to chance. Why? Because we live about 80 years. And if you leave something to chance, I'm here to tell you it's going to happen to you and you're going to lose everything. All right. And if you marry a woman, make sure she's a good woman. So you may make sure you marry someone that comes from a good family. You marry someone that's not on Instagram. You marry somebody that hasn't slept around. Maybe one or two partners maximum. Maximum. Preferably a virgin. All right. And that way you know for sure, if you know what I mean. And that way the woman loves you forever. Just the way it is. That's how women work, man. You pick a woman that's been with 10 or 15 guys, everything that she has experienced, she's going to bring into that relationship. So she'll say stuff like, I don't eat onions because my last boyfriend hit me in the face with a burger once. And I couldn't get the onion smell out of my sweater. So I don't eat onions anymore. They do weird shit like that. They really do. It's annoying. And for men, I don't think I should have to suffer for that. Do you understand? It's not my fault. They carry their pain on their back and they adapt to that pain rather than dealing with it and moving on in general. So I highly suggest meeting a woman that has not been with a lot of people. Yes, middle class is considered the wealthy class now. We do have some people that are extremely wealthy. They're a little bit higher on the hill. Okay. My home's worth about a million. Those homes are worth about 1.5, upwards of 4 and $5 million up the hill. Okay. But what I found with those types of people, a lot of them utilize their properties for business. So they have big families or they do real estate and throw parties. So everything a wealthy person has to be a force multiplier. What does that mean? Well, boy, that's a good cigar. So what does a force multiplier mean? All right, whatever I buy has to make money. Okay, whatever I touch has to make money. If I buy a camper, I'm going to get get with the company and say, look, I just purchased a camper from you and I make YouTube videos and I'm going to do a video on that. And every customer that I send to you, I want a percentage. Okay. So I sell campers, I sell knives, I sell everything. Anything I come in contact with, I sell. If I bring customers to a company, I want money for that. I want a commission. So I'm a born salesman. Being a salesman and the ability to talk is extremely important. Okay. You didn't find a woman, you make her. That is true. Women do not like weakness. Even my wife, if I am weak, it can cause some problems in our marriage. They don't like that because it's uncertainty. Just like men like weird stuff like a woman that hasn't slept around. Now, some guys will say, that doesn't matter to me, blah, blah, blah. You're probably saying that in front of your girlfriend, right? Because you still want to have sex. I get it. I get it. In life, life is short. Set your goals and pick the woman you want. You want. Because most men don't sleep around anymore. Very difficult for men to find women. Now, for me, at least in my generation, I had no problem with finding women. So I always thought all guys had girlfriends. That was my opinion. I This was my reality because I always had a girl. If I got rid of one, another one would come by. If I was in a friend group, I'd meet I'd meet every single one of them, right? Because I wasn't ready to settle down, right? But that's not the reality for most guys. So when I joined the military, what I found is there was a lot of guys that just don't meet girls. Girls are extremely rude to them. It's just the way it is. Life ain't fair. If a girl's got big tits in high school, everybody pays attention to her. That kind of fades when they get out of high school, right? Life is not fair. And guys that have it easy think that everybody has it easy. Well, I joined the military ignorant and I had to supervise guys that were very angry. They hated women. And I found out why because of the way they're treated. If you're a good looking guy, you've got money, women treat you and talk to you totally different. Totally different. When you walk into a room, you will know if the women like you because every woman is looking at you. Every woman wants your approval, whether they're married or not. Every woman, when I walk into a room, sits up so damn straight and looks so darn uncomfortable, right? But they just want my approval. It's a simple smile, how you doing? And they feel good. Then they can relax and then they go back to their normal posture, which is usually bad in America. So these are things that in my reality might not be the same for you. All right. But you can still find a woman, right? Because there's so many women out there, right? But you got to pick a good one. And unfortunately, a lot of the ones that are kind of fugly, they've slept around a lot. And that's because, well, that's just what they do. I mean, I've met a few girls that have just racked them up, man. I'm just like, dang, and that is concerning. All right. So if you want a quality woman, I went overseas. I was in Japan for 11 years and I met my woman over there. So did all my friends, and we're all still married and we're all happily married. She came from a good family, a mom and a dad. I call them mom and dad. I visit every year. I'm part of the family. It's a totally different culture. Um, maybe Hispanic culture is somewhat like that with the family thing. And that really does make a difference because you are marrying the family. And in an Asian culture, I get a lot of respect. That feels pretty good. I don't want to let them down. So it's a feel good, man. It's awesome. So let me catch up on some of the comments here. Um, Boba says, "Do you think you can buy me some Roblox because my mom and my dad does not have a lot of money?" Um, all right, if I did video games, I would send you one. But I always tell people that if you join my channel, you pay the $1.99. You have exclusive rights to all the stuff I do. So if you shot, I can't really say what it is, but I get stuff all the time for free. And this is a laser for I can't say it. I can't say what it is because it's a live video. But I get a lot of things for free, and I get a lot of radios for free. So I got my radios here. This is my GMRS radio. I got base station. I got all kinds of radios that get sent to me. And yeah, I like to send stuff to subscribers. You guys want to see what it is? Let's see if we can do this. Watch this. I'll test it out. Someone's messing around here. What are they doing? WRWX 576 Crest 704. Can I get a radio check, please? A lot of interference today. We have a fire. We have another fire. So when we have another fire, everybody gets on their radios and it gets a little kind of messy. Yeah, we have another fire. There's another fire just behind me. This whole state's on fire, it seems like. At Peace says, I have a girlfriend. My wife doesn't care for her. that's that's good, man. That's good. Kundalini King. I'm gonna say Mr. King here, okay? K King. Get off Roblox, son. It's not a healthy place. That is true. Video games are a big waste of time. They really are. And a lot of people say, "Well, I make money and I stream." If you make a lot of money and you stream, that's fine. But how much money are you making? Right? Because it's dead time. You're not really thinking. And you can change that. I know you really get into it and it's really enjoyable, but you're not going to be young for very long. And this is the time to take in as much information as possible. Because if you work really hard, you can retire young. What's young? 44 years old is pretty young. 50 years old is pretty young. After that, you start feeling, I'm 52 and I feel it. I served 20 years in the military. I feel it. My back hurts. I got to rest every once in a while. I can't imagine retiring at 65 or 70. And that's how some people are. They're like, I'm going to retire when I'm 70 years old and get Social Security. I'm like, dude, you're gonna be about time to die. I go to church, so I'm surrounded by older folks. And when you're in your 70s, you're not retired, man. You're taking care of yourself. You're going to doctor's appointments, all that kind of stuff. It's just the way it is, guys. People get older. I'm 52. Around 75, I'll have to be dealing with health problems. You know, it's just the way it is. You don't want to retire when you're old. You want to work hard now. You want to invest. You want to have insurance. A lot of people don't teach you what you need. You need life insurance. You need full coverage on your automobiles. You don't want to buy a car unless you have the cash to pay for it. Take the bus. Save your money, invest in things like crypto, safe crypto, invest in things like the S&P 500. Everybody here should have a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA is where you put in $166 a month. If you're 20 years old and you put in $150 every month, all right, until you're 40 years old, you will be able to retire. You will have well over $1.5 million, but don't use it. Keep it in there. Let it soak some more. If it's a Roth IRA, you don't have to pay taxes on it. So I suggest doing your own taxes on the computer. You can go on, do TaxSlayer. Get on TaxSlayer, learn how to do your own taxes. It literally takes me about 4 hours to do my taxes every year. And I have trademarks, businesses. I got all kinds of stuff going on. I got income from my wife. She just went back to work because she enjoys it. You know, when you get older, you kind of enjoy working. You want something in your life. Yeah. So she gets to do a job she enjoys. But that's taxes I have to pay. That complicates my tax return. But I learn more by dealing with that. Do you understand? And if you do your taxes every year, do you guys wonder? Have you guys ever seen those guys? Let me teach you something about taxes. Have you guys ever seen those guys driving Teslas? And you're wondering how back when Teslas were 100 grand, how did they afford it? How? Well, some people just purchased it for about 80 grand and then they got like a $17,000 tax credit. All right. And then other people designate it as a work vehicle. So, for instance, let's say you have your own business, you can deduct that cost and depreciation for that vehicle and not have to pay a large amount of taxes. You can lower your tax burden where you're paying less taxes than the 22-year-old kid that's working at McDonald's. Do you understand? And you do that by investing in different things and understanding the tax code. When you do your taxes on TaxSlayer, they're going to ask you a bunch of questions. You're going to remember these questions. So throughout the year, you're going to say, oh, if I get an energy efficient air conditioner, are you telling me I can get $4,000 at the end of the year for that? Get out of here. Really? Dude, they got all kinds of stuff. They got all kinds of stuff that they can do. All right. The government paid to do my entire front and backyard. They gave me money to do that because I put in what? I didn't put in grass. I put in uh, a dry climate plants and stuff. Man, I'm not saying that correctly, but they will pay for that. You have to understand what benefits are there for you. That's how companies don't pay taxes because they do things to reduce their tax liability. If you do your own taxes, you will understand those tax liabilities. All right, let me catch up on these. I'm catching up. I'm catching up. All right. Uh, what has been your best investment? My best investment, my Roth was pretty good. My crypto's pretty good. But my best investment, my knives. So my pocket knives are probably my best investment. I collect, knives. So this is just a Benchmade, right? But I've got, collections of thousands and thousands of knives. So I wanted to collect something that increased in value, art. Okay. So you can collect art, but art's kind of hard to sell because art's pretty big and you got to keep it nice. All right. A knife, on the other hand, well, a knife, they're smaller. You can sell them on eBay and you can sell about $19,999 before you have to what? Report it to the IRS. Now these taxes and these laws change, so you have to be up to date every year. So the goal in life is to pay the least amount of taxes. Because when you get a job, let's say you go to college, you get a job, you're a doctor, you make $250,000 a year. Okay. All right. You're going to have to be paying back your student loan most likely. So you're not going to be very wealthy in the first place. Now that's tax deductible. So you won't pay taxes on that. But you will also pay a large amount of taxes because when you're just a doctor or when you just do a job, you're not doing anything for the economy. You're not building a business. You're not providing an income for other people. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you provide income for other people, you get all kinds of tax benefits. That's why companies get tax breaks because someone like Elon Musk, for instance, he provides the American dream for about 150,000 people. So a person like that, even though he paid the most taxes of any human on the planet, and that's a fact, he has paid more federal taxes than anybody. And why isn't Warren Buffett and all these people? Because they have investments and they haven't pulled those investments, so they don't have to pay taxes on it. So their wealth is more, but he has to pay taxes on this. He has to pay payroll taxes. He has to pay all kinds of taxes on what he does. All right. If you're just a worker, let's say you work at a computer store, whatever you do, you make $200,000 a year. You're going to be paying 30%. 30% of everything you make is gone. Do you understand? That's $60,000 gone. All right. You either pay it monthly by taking those deductions out because you know how much you're going to pay. But what a lot of people do is they'll pay it at the end of the year. So you have to write a check for $60,000. Yeah. So it's better to learn how to manipulate the tax code in order to make as much money and pay the least amount of taxes on what you make. And you do that by doing your own taxes. So, how to get rich? Don't buy a new car. Don't have a car payment. All right. Number two, invest in yourself. Get smart and get smart young. All right. Travel, get outside, talk to people, learn about stuff, ask questions, shut up and listen. And then also do your own taxes. If you do your own taxes, you're going to understand how to navigate this world, the world that our government's created. I mean, really, you really need to do your own taxes. But knives, pocket knives have probably been my best investment. My pocket knives, which I still have more than half my collection left, paid for my house. So as I was building my house, I was not touching my paycheck or anything. Everything came from selling my knives. So I pretended that my paycheck didn't exist. You have to make these little rules in your head. So everything that I spent on the house building the home came from my knives and the sale of those knives. You understand? And that's how you do it. I also have done gold and silver. So I've done about six figures in each. Gold is freaking heavy. Silver is even heavier. And the people that you will deal with when you're selling silver are a pain in the ass. They're scammers. You can get fake stuff. Silver is a pain in the old dick. Buy some junk silver, little dimes for emergencies, and that's it. All right, get about $1,000 worth of those, put it away. Why? Because those coins, they have some intrinsic value, and they are also silver, and they're little dimes. So if we do collapse as a country, you're going to have $1,000 worth of silver dimes that you can use to get food. Silver will probably be, if let's say an EMP pulse came, there's going to be no more crypto. Do you understand? So you're going to need something to trade with, and silver will take that place. And so will gold, but not really. Silver will take that place. Okay. So you need a little bit of silver just for, emergencies. A message is held for review. Hey man, I remember you. I think you're the guy who touched my balls. I need your info. Yes, Johnny boy. Okay. I read everything. I don't care. Last book I read is Living Your Unlived Life by Robert A. Johnson. Oh, that's awesome, King. Yeah, reading is really good. I'm not much of a reader. My daughter is. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people when you read a book, you really take it in. I can see that with my daughter. I'm jealous that she has the ability just to sit there and read. I can't sit still very long. Roseanne said, my beef curtains fell off. in my sleep. Roseanne, that's interesting. JB, Kali Knives, what has been your best investment? JB, what's up, man? My knives, bro. Yeah, absolutely. My knives have definitely been my best investment. Absolutely. I literally have not spent a dime on my knives. So my knives, I acquired collections from different people. I also obtained anytime I saw a really good deal. So anytime I buy a knife, I know in my head how much that knife is worth. And my goal was like a five over profit. So if I could buy it for $100, that means I could sell it for 500. It's a big world out there. Don't get, like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to sell knives. All right. Well, it's a $500 knife and you're about to pay 425 for it. You're like, well, that's a really good deal. But can you sell it and make a profit? Well, I can sell it. Yeah, I can sell it and make 50 bucks. No, you're not, because you got to pay eBay fees, ship it. Dude, no, no. It's a big world out there. Get it cheap, like really cheap. And you need to learn how to get it really cheap. And that's the key. Getting it cheap, selling it high. Cheap, selling it high. And you just keep doing it. Once you learn how to do it, once you've set that in your head, once your brain is set, go by that philosophy. All right? Just like you need insurance on everything. Everything needs to be insured, including your mortgage. Everything needs to be insured. You're like, well, that's 20 bucks a month if I do that. Everything needs to be insured. If it isn't, you're going to be a victim. You're going to be a victim. One of these days, you're going to be a victim, and it's going to completely turn your life upside down. And you also want to take care of your health. So that's important. I love sugar. I love ice cream. People are like, oh, you could eat anything you want. No, I can't. I exercise and I eat a good diet generally. All right. And that's what you want to do, period. Um, you know, how do I make a live video? I just pressed live. I want to learn, actually. I'm going to go through a YouTube workshop and they're going to teach me how to go live and share my screen and different things like that. So I hope I get accepted to that program. They offered it and I'm on the waiting list. Hopefully they do. And I think that the coaching and going through that course that YouTube offers is beneficial. So I do courses, I learn, I talk to people. When we have community meets with YouTube, I go to those community meetings. When they ask for opinions, I speak. I give my opinion. Someone has to. I'm usually the first one to give my opinion. So learn how to lead people. Leadership is key. You want to be in charge of multiple people, and that is another way of learning a lot of things. Yes, yes, Hogs 14. I did change my name, so it's gone from Doggo Running. I'm not a dog walker. Sounded good when I got it right, and then the other one was Basic Stuff with two A's. Baasick. Yeah, you got the idea. Like basic. No, no, no. It was so hard to explain to people because I go on a radio show. So I go live and I'm talking to the entire San Gabriel Valley out here. And I am live and I'm talking. I'm trying to describe, yeah, basic stuff with two A's. Dude, people will be like, man, I try to find your place. I didn't understand that 2A thing. Yeah. Nah, it's spelled wrong. Okay. I thought it was cute. Bad idea. So I changed it to Found Worthy. Found Worthy. It's spelled exactly like that. Found Worthy, kind of like Thor, right? Why did I say Found Worthy? Because I do a lot of reviews and I do a lot of general content. So Found Worthy, you kind of have an idea of what the channel's about, and yeah, that's why I changed it. JB says, "Thank you, sir." Yes, I think I got one of your knives, JB. Didn't you send me one of your knives once? I think I still have it. I think you're the one that sent me that knife. Did you send me a knife, JB? I can't remember. Didn't you make one for me? Was it you or someone else? I forget. Um, I have a lot of beautiful knives. Look at those right there, and those are Lon Humphreys JS submissions. So he submitted five knives to get his journeymans at the blade show. And I said I'm going to get those knives, and yeah, he sold the two big ones to someone else, and then those other three, he wanted to take a smoke break. See, don't smoke, guys. You know what I'm saying? Because like smokers, they need to take a break every hour. And he was like, "Look, dude, I'll just sell them to you right now, man. What are you gonna offer me?" So yeah, I was like, "Don't worry, I'll never sell them. They'll always be here for you." But yeah, I got those. They're beautiful. You know, his JS submissions, real beautiful. All the artwork and everything on my wall is real also. It's all real. This is all real artwork, real political cartoons that were given to my grandfather, famous cartoonist. They would always do a chalk drawing, and then that would be shrunk for the newspaper. So their art, they have just like all the political, it's just awesome, and they used to sell it. So not only would they work for a newspaper, but these political, cartoonists would sell their art. So so they worked for a company. So this is how you make money, man. You work for a company, right? And your job is to make a cartoon every day. Great, you get a paycheck to do that. So what else can you do to make money? Well, you've got a chalk drawing. Now you sell yourself. And that's what a lot of these guys did. They sold themselves. So a lot of these people that are cartoonists make a ton of made a ton of money back in the day. Back in the day. And that's how life is, period. So wherever you are, there's an opportunity. If you work at a rubber factory, believe me, you're going to know when the US government takes out a huge order. You might want to ask yourself why and if I can invest in that. And that's how you make money. Your brain always has to be turned on. You have to pay attention to what's going on around you. You can't pay attention to what's going on around you if you're on drugs. Don't do drugs. Two, if you're an individual that just doesn't pay attention or you play too many video games. Now, video games aren't bad to relax, but don't let it take up an hour of your day, an hour a day. I don't have an hour. I don't have an hour for video games. Now, I do have something on my cell phone that I play like maybe once a week, and I do that for like 15 minutes. And I'm thinking that's like relaxing time, man. I do not have an hour a day to devote to a video game. I just don't. I mean, if I have an hour, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to invest in myself. So everything you do, you have to have these rules. Everything needs to be insured, and everything you do, you need to invest in yourself. All right. You have to be growing, maturing, and you want to constantly do that. And if you do, opportunities just bump into you. You'll be like, oh, wait a second. What did you say? What? And then you make money. And that's how you make money because your brain always has to be on, sharp, 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 sharp. And that's how you make a lot of money. If you're not that type of person, well, then life's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because you're surrounded by people like me. We're on all the time. And it's not that I want to get rich because I'm really not rich because I like to relax. I like to go to the gym. I like to go to the beach. I like to do I like to go hiking. I like to disappear in the mountains for 3 days. And in order to be able to do that, you've had to make some good decisions before you can just screw off at the age of 52 and go for a little hike, if you know what I mean. JP says, "Thank you, sir." Oh, Kundala King, Mr. King says yoga. Absolutely. So I do yoga. I got one yoga mat in here someplace. I always have my yoga mat somewhere, wherever it went. But yeah, I like yoga. I do it at LA Fitness actually. I like it. Plus, there's cute girls, so it's always nice to talk to them. So you can meet some girls. That's how you meet people doing things like that. I'm married, but I mean, I'd rather talk to girls than guys because guys don't really. I got a best friend. I got a best friend, and my best friend are like this. We're like tight, man. We are tight, and and he's also successful. So anything I do, I run by him because he's smart. Anything he does, he runs by me because I'm smart. So you need to have a best friend. So you need to invest in the time to find a best friend. All right. Everybody should have a best friend. You really should. But it takes time to do that. So when I was in the military, every 4 years when I come and visit, who do I visit? I visit my mom and I visit my best friend because he's my best friend. And that investment, that trust, man, I love him like family. I love him like he's up there with my wife. I'm gonna be honest. We're all in the same family. That's a best friend. And you cannot put a price tag on that. I mean, if he ever goes, man, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I mean, it's just I talk to him every day. That's what we do. We talk, you know. JB says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you very much." JB also says, "I don't think so. Great looking knives." Yes, thank you very much, man. I'm very proud of those knives. I got quite a few. The collection's not as large as before. My collection was big enough where I had when they started doing that Forge program on cable TV, they were thinking about having a host travel around and look at people's knife collections and just talking knives, right? So I interviewed for that. They never started the show. They just never did. But I interviewed for that. I was in the final round of interviews to be the host. I was pretty excited, man. I was like, dude, I'm going to host a show on cable TV. Um, but Lon Humphrey's the one that actually said, "Don't worry about it if they don't call you, because if they do call you and you go to sign that contract," because he almost went on that Ford show. Same thing. They put all kinds of restrictions on you. So if you're a smart guy and you got something going on, you really don't want to be signing a contract with anybody. Just like your YouTube channel. If your YouTube channel is doing really good, you're going to get all kinds of offers to like, oh, we can get you this many more views if you sign with us. No, no. I got mine. I can say whatever I want. I can talk about political stuff. I can even piss you guys off. I don't mean to. I don't mean to piss anybody off. I'm sorry if I do. But that's just me. I'm allowed to vent. And you're allowed to vent too. If you look through the comments in general, I allow people to talk and I try to be respectful. And that's all we do in life, man. Because in the Navy, we had all kinds of people, Democrats, Republicans, we had all kinds of people, but we all got along. We all got along. And we're all at different stages in life, and I understand that. So like I tell people, I was a Democrat before I had children. Once I got a child, yeah, no way. I'm a Republican now. And then also I understood what life was. Like my wife had a baby and I understood what, that bump was. I mean, I could see my daughter's foot moving. And that happens like after a couple months, 3 months, 4 months, you can start seeing movement. And I just, like I said, I can't support. No way, man. No way. No way. It's just like, and the thing is again, I know everybody has to go through that. Like, they're going to believe what they hear from other people or what they've heard in their classroom. But for me, that's what changed my mind. Like when I saw the baby moving. And so there's many reasons I've changed who I support. But I know that's a process for everybody. And I'm not saying I'm smarter than you. It's just that everybody kind of speaks from their own heart. I live by some really wealthy people that haven't been very many places. And they've gone to really nice colleges like Harvard and USC. You got to understand that, not everyone that's gone to these colleges, but in general, they've gone straight from mama's house into a gated community, which is a college campus that you need to show your ID card to get on, and they celebrate themselves because you're at USC, you've made it, man. Well, they're not guaranteeing you a job, okay? But they're going to tell you how great you are for making it and how special you are. And it kind of goes to their head a little bit, and they sit in classrooms and they talk about things like they'll talk about what I did in the military, and they know it all, man, because they're at college. They're in a room with like 400 people, and they're all agreeing with each other, and they're writing a story about what the military does, and what's going on in the world, dude. Until you've been there, you don't know. You don't know what I did or how I did it unless you've been there. Only 4% of the population serves in the military, and everybody gets to vote on where we go. That's some scary stuff. That's some scary stuff. When you're in the military and you're listening to some of these civilians talk about why we should go so and so, you're like, dude, you don't know nothing, man. Just stop. It's like, don't even vote on this. Like, just step aside. because it's like you're like voting on my life. You're telling me where I'm gonna go and what's best for me, and I put my hand. I'll do it. Whatever you guys tell me to do, I'll do it. Ugh, I don't know. I'm so glad to be out of the military. That was just terrifying, especially when we had Obama as the president. Obama as a president, we were bombing the crap out of everybody. We really were. So it was just a situation that I was not enjoying. That was my repeater checking in. All repeaters must check in every 15 minutes and a full check in every 30 minutes. So, Goober, any advice on investing on phone booths? Phone booths, there are still some phone booths here and there, but they do not make money. And I've heard, all these things like vending machines, stuff like that. I've heard people making money off that kind of stuff, but the problem is time. Time. You need to find out what you're good at. If you're a good talker, get on YouTube and start making videos, and slowly you'll get better. Most of my videos, I'm probing. I'm building my YouTube channel right now. Okay, so my goal was to have 100,000 subscribers within 1 year. That was my goal. It was a weird goal. I know. I wanted 100,000 subscribers in 1 year. I got 100,000 subscribers. No kidding. To the day. To the day. All right. So why did I change my name? And I put basic stuff on it. Why didn't I put my real name? Think about it. My next goal is 500 subscribers, and I'm going to put my new channel's name on it. Because that's not my name anymore. Kind of sucks. I want one with my new name on it. How do you get that? Motivation. Period. I'm motivated, and then I'm passionate. You cannot compete with someone that's passionate about what they're doing. Whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm driving, whatever I'm doing, that is the best. I love it. I love it. You got to get into it. You cannot compete with someone that is that motivated and that passionate about what he's doing it. You got to believe it. You got to think that your ideas are the most powerful and you need to believe it. But when you're talking to another person, you need to listen because you can learn a lot, especially from young people. And that was a blessing. I supervised a lot of young people, so I got to listen to what they had to say and the problems that they go through. And they got a lot of problems, man. Life ain't easy, dude. It really isn't. Any advice on investing on phone booths? Azar Hussein, Hassan, are you afraid of dying? I'm not afraid of dying because I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. So I believe that I have faith that there is something that is after all this. Now, everybody says, faith. What is faith? Well, faith is not, if I truly believed, I know a lot of Christians love to say this. If you truly believe, you would drop everything and start like whatever, man. I mean, you would live your life a lot different if you knew for sure the old guy was up there. So that's why they call it faith. That's why they call it faith, is because your faith sometimes goes in and out. If you're watching some corn, your faith kind of disappears for a little while and you're wondering, how did I do that? Why did I do that? We all do it. We're all human beings. When you do something like you yell at somebody or you call them a bad name or you get upset and you're like, man, I'm really not proud of how I acted right there. Again, you're like, I know I should, or sometimes how I talk to the other side, Democrats, for instance. Sometimes I come across as a jerk and I wish I didn't do that. It's hard to stop who I am. And these are like character defects that we need to work on all the time. Because I have to realize that everybody's going through their own progress. I might be talking to a Democrat, but he might be right on the fence of becoming a Republican. Right? And then by the time he becomes a Republican, the Republicans might be nuts. So you have to be ready to go back to the other side, maybe. So you need to be a thinking man. You need to be a thinking person. Mr. King says, ignorance breeds fear. If you're afraid of dying, you would do well to learn to let go. Um, yeah, that is true. Yeah, fear is good, and you can learn from fear. One of the best things that happened in my career is when I did something pretty bad. I drove my Jeep over my next door neighbor's car. Again, I tend to get a little bit angry and do some dumb stuff, man. Um, that was the one time I got in trouble in the military, and it really hurt me big time. Um, Now they let me stay in because, which was totally unusual, but I guess they liked me, and yeah, and I ended up, when you know you're not going to make promotion for a long time because of something stupid you did, you have to reinvent yourself. So for about one day, I wanted to kill myself, and then the next day, I decided that I was going to live for my guys. So I showed up at work, and my goal was to work for my guys, to be the best supervisor possible, to put my pride and my goals to the side. I want to know what your goals were. And man, I should have done that like 10 years prior to that. Man, my life, my career was so much better just being good to people and helping people. And yeah, it was awesome. Within 6 months, I was nominated to represent my pay grade, which was incredible. Even the chain of command laughed about it. They're like, I can't believe it. You got a DUI and ran over your neighbor's car, and then now you're being promoted to that. And that was a big sense of accomplishment because that was my peers saying that I did good, and that made me feel good. That's a big confidence boost. You gain confidence with victory. You really do. JB says, JB Caudelli knives, Caudill knives. See that's a name that's hard. So if I was on the radio and I'd say, "Hey, my name's JB Caudill knives," difficult, right? It's difficult. It means a lot to you, but it's very difficult if I was saying that on the radio. People would be like, Caudill, what? And they wouldn't be able to spell it. So if you have a large channel like mine, after a while, you find it very difficult to spell it out for everybody all the time. So that's why I went. That's why I also changed my YouTube name. It's easier to be Democrat in your youth. Yes, it is. It really is. You want to party and have a good time. It's all about you when you're young. Things change if you're lucky when you get older. I have to agree. I do have to agree. I mean, I protested in front of the OJ trial. Yeah, that was me. I had a tie dye shirt on. I even got interviewed by the local news. I was like, "Free OJ," I was like, but yeah, at home I was like, "He's guilty. He's guilty." But it was a cool thing to say, and I just said it. You know. So yeah, yeah. As you age, you kind of realize the things you say and do matter. And we have to have conservative means you're conserving. And when you're young, you want to make those changes. You don't want to conserve. You don't want to live in your parents' world. But when you get a little bit older, like 25, 26, 27, you start to realize you go back to your old neighborhood and it's all messed up. There's like a bunch of crime, or 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 you go to another city and they've bulldozed all the old burger joints and they've put in all this other new stuff, and you're like, what the heck? Why they do that? And that's because they ruin the neighborhood, right? So this is what these companies do: is they vote for this defund the police, they vote for all this soft on crime because they want to destroy certain neighborhoods. And then they come in and they purchase those homes for really cheap. A riot is the best because if you can get a riot going and they destroy all the local, like Walmart, Target, Walgreens, there's no drugstore or anything, the city will literally beg big companies like BlackRock, no red tape, just build the Walmart, throw in some sidewalks, please. They'll say no problem, we'll put in some sidewalks, put in a few trees. What I'm saying? It just kind of blends in with the existing infrastructure. But they get to build a Walmart, now they own it. And they own every home in Los Angeles now. Almost every single one. And that's because of the riots. So when I tell Democrats you're destroying your own neighborhood, You're voting for people that want to destroy your neighborhood and rebuild for people that can afford it. Now, I can afford it. I can go down there and buy a nice place in Los Angeles. You can't. Now, that place used to be affordable. They're not anymore. Ever since the riot, these places are nice, man. They got nice paint. They got nice roofs. They're beautiful, man. You ain't getting that. I am. And get this, defund the police is over. Notice that? Nobody wants that. So what did they do? Just like our fire department, they killed the fire department's budget. And what did they do? They funded the police. Yeah. So not only did they not defund the police, after they defunded the police, allowed the riots to happen, once they built those apartments down in Los Angeles, then they funded the police to protect those very same apartments that now they built. And now it's unaffordable for everybody. You voted for that. So that's what I try to explain. So it sounds like a good idea, but if you ever want a house, you want to see where these companies, these big companies, why are they for DEI? Why are they for defunding the police? Why are they for soft on crime? Why are they boys can go into girls' restrooms and all that? Well, I live in California. If you go to the beach, you have grown men with beards on that will have a halter top on. They ain't gay, but they're in and out and they're prancing around and they literally hang out by the girls' restroom, going in and out, in and out, in and out because they enjoy the looks they get from me. Because I'm like, what the fuck? They love that. They love that. They love that they've pissed me off. And they love that they get to go in that bathroom with the females. And it's yeah, like people from some places haven't experienced that. So they're like, what's the problem? Just lock the door. Okay. You can't do that at the beach. So the beach bathrooms, non existent for girls, completely non existent. And if you go to these places that voted for this, like the USC Keck USC campus, where all the rich kids go, of course they voted for that. Because if you go there, I go there for my back surgeries, they have tons of bathrooms. So when you go into the hospital, they've got a whole hallway, one door after another. And what is it? It says boys and girls. And those doors lock. And it's only for one person. So you get to go in, you have a beautiful bathroom. It's gorgeous. It's USC, it's the campus of USC. Beautiful. It gets cleaned every 10 minutes. So there's no urine on the seat because you don't want to piss off the girls, right? And that's why they vote for this kind of stuff because it doesn't affect them. They don't see a problem with it. They don't realize that when they get out of college, they're going to go work at a company that might not be as nice as their USC campus. And then they start voting Republican because they start realizing, damn, I voted for that. That's dumb. Or they'll go to the beach, they'll see someone doing that. And if you're single, if you're a man with your little girl and you're just having a good time, having a few beers, you don't care that some freak's doing that, really. You only care when you got a freaking 8-year-old girl daughter that needs to go to the restroom and says, Daddy, I really need to go. And I'm like, that big dude just walked in there. And I'm gonna, between you and me, some of these guys that kick my ass, they're huge. Americans are gigantic, huge. You don't think a small little guy is going to pretend that he's a girl, right? Because he's going to get his ass kicked. It's usually some big son of a bitch that would kick my butt. I'm going to be honest. High on drugs, and they're hanging out in the girls' restroom. That's just the way it is. It's cleaner, it smells nicer. And they love pissing people off. They're homeless. They don't care. That's their gig. That's what they do. So let me read some of the da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay. Mr. King says, I'm having a blast at 44. Me too. 44 is a good age. That's when I retired. And I retired for about a couple months. And then I decided to build a house. I just wanted to renovate it, but I just ended up destroying the whole thing and rebuilding it. Built this office too. Nice level 5 drywall. See that smooth drywall? I did that myself. I'm very proud of that. I work with my hands. I build airplanes too. I'm an inspector where I was. JB says, you wake up. Yeah, you wake up. He basically realized that the world isn't as simple as he thought. And but there are some very intelligent people that vote Democrats. So some of them are profiting from this. Okay. If I was a bad person, I'd probably vote Democrat and get into real estate. I'm gonna be honest. But I'm not a jerk. I don't know what to tell you. I want you guys to be able to afford a home. And I see what's happening here. At least in my lifetime. I don't know what the Republican Party used to be like. I have no clue. I'm 52 years old. I have no idea. I know as long as I've been alive, they've been setting up, they would have set us up for success. They conserve. They're conservatives. They conserve what's here. Your old park would be here. Your historical buildings would still be here. Your same tax laws would be here. All right. Now, Democrats do bring up some good things. I like some of the environmental stuff that needs to happen because we got a ton of cars here. And I'm going to be honest, some of the environmental stuff, not all of it, but some of it has actually improved our beaches and the air quality. So we need to listen to both sides. I just wish the other side just wasn't so nutso, you know? Mr. King says, I lived in St. Louis. They bust in rioters, and now Ferguson is owned by BlackRock. Yeah, yeah. So BlackRock gave $811 million to BLM. And I love Black lives. I love white lives. I'm not going to say it. I love Asian lives. It's a good slogan. It's fantastic. And unfortunately, yeah, BlackRock owns pretty much everything. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It just, the minute the riots happen, anywhere there's been a riot, go look at the real estate. Pull it up on Zillow. You're going to see brand new homes. They're beautiful, dude. They've got security systems. We got a few of them that they built over in my neighborhood too. Gorgeous. $1.5 million for these homes. Beautiful, dude. Like everything's perfect. Landscaping's perfect. Everything's perfect. That's because it's a huge company. They'll do like 4 houses at once. The most expensive part is getting the contractors to the house, you know? And having lawyers to deal with your neighbors. They don't have to deal with neighbors. They just have their lawyer go over there and says, this is what we can legally do. We want to be your friend. How can we make this better? I mean, they know how to talk to people. Me, I'm like, dude, get the hell out of here. I got one day to get this wall up. You're pissing me off. I pissed my neighbor off big time. That dude chased me around my property because he was fucking around. Excuse my language. And I don't have time for it. I just don't. Hogs14 says, when you find out your money is stolen, that's when you change. Absolutely. Absolutely. Knock on wood, it hasn't happened to me yet, but I've seen it a few times. I was a financial counselor in the military. That was one of my collateral duties. So I went to school for it, and I would do quite a few. And yeah, I've seen some terrible stuff happen to people that just aren't insured. They just don't think it's going to happen to them. Mr. King says Marriott bought half of downtown St. Louis in the mid 2010s. Made a lot of money in demo rehab from 2016 to 2019 from Marriott. They raised the property value enough to push out a decent amount of. I just hung up on him, I guess. The criminal element. Here, let me text my best friend here so I can let him know. Oh, you're that guy that was on Amigo that tried hitting on that 19-year-old, huh? Jeez. Hogs 14 says, yep, I got another hidden message. I appreciate the need to play sport, but can you get off the lawn, please? Ask boy. All right. Got some interesting, weird messages there. All right. Let me just text my friend really quick. Cool. All right. I meant 19 is legal, right? I meant 18. 18 is legal too. And not here for the US on Amigo. Dane Martin says, bro is right. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hogs 14 says 18 is still legal. Yes. Actually, I think 13 is, or 16, something like that. 14 in some states. Yeah. So age of consent in some states is very low, actually. Oh, yeah. Cool. King AM just went on Amigo. I was trying to flirt with a girl and you just got caught. 4K. Yeah. And another thing, dating apps. You don't want to be on dating apps, man. If you want to meet girls, meet them in person. Best way to meet a girl is in person. Absolutely. Yeah. And girls don't find what we think is attractive, girls are totally the opposite. All right. So, for instance, if I saw a guy that looks like me, an old dude like me, I would think that no girl would be interested in some old dude that's 52 years old. Girls look for something totally different than us. They love the wrinkles. They love this stuff, dude. They absolutely love the beard. They love all that. They love the confidence, the cockiness. They like a guy that can look them in the eye. They like a guy with a six pack abs. You should have pack abs, man. That's one thing, dude. Seriously, just do it, man. If you do that, that transforms your life also. Stuff like that. If I knew all this, now would I tell people to wait to get married? Because when you're 20, you're not, unless you're really good looking, you might have a girl here and there. You'll always have a girlfriend. But if you're like the top 1%, you're just going to get gonorrhea. Seriously. Most guys that sleep around end up getting the clap or some kind of gonorrhea. Sexual diseases are a real thing, guys, and they don't talk about it anymore. And that's because people just aren't having sex like they used to. They just aren't. So the diseases are not, but I think it's like 28% of the population, 30 of 35, 30-year olds and above have herpes. Yeah, dude. It's like 30%. So if you think, oh, I'm going to wait to get married and be in my 30s, right? And I'm going to pick the woman I want. Dude, by then, most of those girls have herpes. Yeah. And so will you. And you got to do like the great reveal. I don't have herpes, but I got a friend that has it. And for some reason, he told me this. Not my best friend. It's someone I don't even talk to anymore. But he told me about this great reveal thing. Dude, no, what's with the great reveal? He's like, if you have herpes, like the way he was talking about it, like this is just common knowledge between people that date. All right. So he's wealthy. He's got 2 Porsches and all that stuff. But he was like, yeah, I got herpes. So like if I find a girl I really like, I got to do the great reveal. Like I need to talk to you about something. And he goes, sometimes the girls don't call back. They just don't. They're like, ew, gross. Usually the only girls that call back are the ones that have herpes already. So they'll be like, I got herpes too. Great. We found a match. So I'm telling you, like a lot of these programs that are telling you what to do for girls, they're lying to you. These are young kids. No offense. They're young kids that haven't lived their life. I know you don't understand. It's different. No, it's not different. Girls are girls. There's tons of girls to meet. It's you. You don't know how to talk to them. You really don't. Get them off their phone. Get them off their phone. Talk to them. Interrupt them. Tell them to take their headphones. Go like this. They take it out. Go, you look really pretty today. Girls love that. Oh, I love your hair. Did I bother you? They don't care. They're going to be like, thank you. And the fact that you had the balls to tell them to take their headphones out, they love that. They love that. They want a guy. Look, when a jerk like me comes in and takes your spot, they want to know that their guy can protect them and isn't going to be the weenie that I say, get out of here. Go, get out of here. And you'll get out because I'm going to kick your ass. And they like that. They want to be protected. They really do. They want the guy that's in charge. They want the guy that everybody looks to. Everybody wants that guy, period. If you can be that guy, you will have women. You don't have to be the best looking guy. I'm definitely not the best looking guy, right? Kind of good looking, right? All right. But in general, it's my attitude and how I carry myself. that I can tell women are attracted to me. You will know. It will come in time. How you walk is very important. They don't talk about safe sex anymore, just abortion. Yes, I know, I know. It's that is a hard one. And like I said, everybody's on a different uh thing with that. They've promoted that, and that's because they make money selling the body parts. It's really messed up. It really is. I hope that I, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. Like, you got to stop abortion. You really do. I mean, it's not good. Like, if you do it, you're going to regret it. Okay, that's all I got to say. Because eventually, you're going to grow up and you're going to have kids, and you're going to be sitting next to your wife, and you're going to have your hand on her stomach, and you're going to realize what you did, and you're going to be pissed off at them doctors for lying, because it's not just fluid. You know what I'm saying? It's a real baby. It's a real baby in there. It's the real deal. When you live with the woman, you sleep with the woman every night, you can hear the baby kicking. You can put your head here and you can hear its heartbeat. Dude, this is a baby, man. It's, without getting upset or too emotional about it, guys, yeah, don't do that. You will regret it. Guarantee. It's just one of those things you'll regret. It's kind of like when someone says if you smoke cigarettes, you'll regret it, because you'll get freaking emphysema or lung cancer, guaranteed. Just one of those things. Cigars, you might get lucky and make it till 90 years old, and you might die from something else. But cigarette smoking, you're gonna die. Some things are just, you're gonna regret it. Hogs 14 says, just wondering how you got into radio. I purchased these first, my Baofangs. Whoops. My Baofangs. I just wanted a radio where I could talk to my family in an emergency. So I purchased those, and I did a video on them, and it was really popular. A lot of people watched it. And then a few companies called me, and a few companies sent me some stuff. And there's a lot of different radios. I mean, like, this is from TID Radio. I really like this one. Look at that little stubby antenna. This thing is sweet, dude. It is really, it's hard because everything's backwards. This is such a sweet radio. A little bit more in the Baofeng, but I dig it. I really do dig it. There are some great ones. And then I got this one. Everything was sent to me, even my base station, all this stuff. This was from two-way radios. This is like 50 watts, man. As a base station, so I got an antenna on my roof and everything. I can talk all over the valley, everywhere. So I can basically hit every place in my area, which is awesome. And this is one of my nicer radios. This is an Ushan, and it's got some customized stuff on it. Welcome, channel mode. And it's pretty cool. You can change the colors, and it's real clear and nice. It doesn't make any sporadic noise. So this is full volume, and it doesn't make any noise. None. You talk into it, you get an answer. Really clean, good filters. If you turn on something like a Baofeng, this is what people are talking about. You turn on a Baofeng. Frequency mode. Nice and loud, but eventually see, hear that noise? I didn't do that. That's just automatic. The filtering on Baofengs is not very good. See, you hear that? So if it's just you and your friends, that's not going to bother you. But a radio like this, if I hand it to my wife, she'll just turn it off. She's like, it's annoying. It makes too much noise. Yeah. See, if you get something like a little bit more expensive, like your TID radios, like these right here, um, they're not going to make as much sporadic noises. See, they're not making any noise. See how nice they are? Got really nice screens. And those are about $10 more. If you get something like a super heterodyne. Welcome, channel mode. So this one actually has parts in it that make it filter better. This is all done with software, but better software than the Baofengs. So, everything's a little bit different. I have a lot of videos on radios, and I try to make it as simple as possible. But basically, if you connect to a repeater, my repeater is at 6,000 feet, about 30 miles away, 6,000 feet south of me. And that's line of sight. 6,000 feet's way up in the air. So if I had to point to my repeater's like up there. You know what I'm saying? And about 30 miles from here. I can't see it, right? But there's nothing in between me and that repeater. So when I talk on my 45 water right here, right, it hits that repeater, and then that repeater broadcasts it. It broadcasts it on a separate frequency. So you'll send it on, let's say, frequency 400, and it will transmit on 423. All right, you got it. So, and these repeaters, my club, for instance, we meet up. So we have a meetup. We do volunteer work. It's a nonprofit. And most of the people that are in my club are LEO, fire department, ex military, or radio operators. So we perform emergency operations and all kinds of stuff. Dude, it's awesome, dude. It's when you realize how much coverage this thing has, it is just like, damn, dude. Like I can talk to all the fire everywhere there's fires. I can talk to different guys out there. You get the real information. So we had a windstorm last year, and we also had some heavy rains that were bringing. I mean, out here it can get real bad because it's like the desert out here, right? In some areas, and I was getting real time updates and news from people all over the valley. So someone would say, I'm from Pasadena, California, and be like, hey, how's the weather out there? Oh, it's just pouring, dude. We got flooding down this way. Oh, no kidding. And you get to just talk and get real news, real updated news. During the fires is a little bit quieter because we wanted to leave it open. We wanted to leave that frequency open. And we even had a fire. Everyone's like, well, if there's a fire, it's going to burn down your repeater. Our repeater is up on a tower, okay, a very high tower, and there's a lot of other repeaters and all kinds of expensive equipment. So the one of the fires actually burned that mountain completely, but they threw fire retardant on all the antennas. They save those every time. The same thing happened over here in this recent fire. Mount Wilson almost burned down. Mount Wilson has telescopes, antennas, everything. They dumped a ton of fire retardant all over that thing, and it didn't burn, right? Very expensive to do, but they did it because they don't want those antennas to burn up. Because if those antennas burn up, a lot of people can't communicate. You got a lot of different systems on those antennas, and those antennas overlook us. So I have a mountain range right behind me. I have another repeater right behind me at 4,000 feet, and that beams down over the entire valley, past Hollywood, down by the beach, just everywhere. I can talk to even the desert over the California mountains because some of our repeaters repeat. They go from one repeater to the other one. So there is one in the local area where we can talk to like Tennessee. I haven't connected to that one though yet. But that one is they've got repeaters kind of like what ham operators do, but GMRS also has a few of those repeaters that reach over state lines, like multiple states, which is pretty cool too. So you can talk to somebody miles away, crystal clear. It's really nice. Sean Zimmerman. Man, I used to have a friend called Zimmerman in the military. Are you the same guy? Agreed, 100%. He was an engine mechanic. Hogs 14. That's how I found you a few months ago on the radio stuff. Cool, cool. Yeah, I try to do some radio stuff every once in a while and knife stuff, which I enjoy. Hogs 14, 100. Yeah, 100 back, man. I love that, dude. There ain't no better thing than 100. Hogs 14, nice radios. Hogs 14, I have a few Baofangs. I usually use them as scanners. Yeah, they scan pretty good. Yeah, they scan pretty good. You can also scan for your codes so you can connect to different repeaters. Once you learn how to use the Baofeng, man, it's really easy. It really is. All you got to do is mess with it, guys. You just need to do it. You just need to like today. I'm going to get on a repeater and I'm going to talk to a few people, and then I'm going to take my other Baofeng and I'm going to connect it to this, and I'm going to try that, and I'm going to walk up to the top of the hill and I'm going to see how far it can go. And you kind of get to know your radio, like how far can it transmit on simplex. What that means is radio to radio. How far, where can you not hit your repeater? You know what I'm saying? Every place is different. Like Like this little radio right here can't reach 30 miles to my repeater. But if I go down to my daughter's school, it does. Very light. I have to, and when you're talking, this is a little pointer. When you're trying to hit a repeater, they might hear you. You're like, I'm hitting it because you'll go boop, right? It means you're hitting the repeater, right? You're getting a hit back. Now you don't want to test it by doing this, like testing it, like am I hitting the repeater? Don't do that because people don't like that. Do a radio check. WRWX 576 radio check. Now, if I'm doing it on something this small, I'm going to say WRWX 576. Let me get a radio check on a small HT. So a small handheld. So what I'm letting people know is I'm calling on a very small handheld and it's going to be very light. So then they're going to come back and say, read you, not so loud and clear. You're very faint, but I'm getting you. You're hitting the repeater and you're hitting the repeater with 4 bars. Cool. So something like this, it's very light. And so if you're using a small HT and you're getting no response, you're like, man, I'm hitting the repeater, dude. What's going on? Let them know that you're talking on a small HT and you just want to know if you're hitting the repeater and if you guys can hear me. That's it. Then they're going to say, yeah, we can hear you. Thank you very much. That's it. They don't want to talk to you because they can barely hear you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. Our club GMRS repeater is around a 70-mile radius. Our ham is on a tower and goes pretty far. Hogs 14. That's awesome. Yeah, that's what ours is about. It seems like 70 miles, and then in some areas it goes a lot farther. 70 miles is a lot. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Our ham is on a tower. So I have some radios that are connected to a local guy's ham repeater, which is like I think he's a neighbor. And he's never told me to get off of it. I know that's bad. I thought it's very close to the GMRS frequency range. That's why. It was actually in the GMRS repeater book and I plugged it in. So I thought I was talking on a GMRS repeater the whole time. It's a this repeater gets a lot of traffic from different places all over the world. So it is one of those things where I think they're just giving me a free pass, just the way it is. But I only have them programmed for an emergency. So in an emergency, I do have a ham repeater that I can connect to, and I'm very familiar with, um, even though I don't have a license. So, do you wipe or let it crust? I wipe. Keep it clean because you never know when you're going to get your, yeah, especially when you're young. The last thing you want to do is be dirty down there, if you know what I mean. You don't want to go to the club and have sweaty nuts. You just don't want to. Keep yourself clean. You might miss your chance. That's what I'm saying. You might miss your chance. Always be clean. What's the most beautiful place you've ever visited and why? I like Japan. Japan is fantastic. And why? The people are great. Like you can just let your guard down because nobody's out there to take advantage of you or hurt you. Everybody is just very kind. It's and I'm a very orderly guy. I did 20 years in the military and just everybody follows the rules. It's real nice. Not because they're going to throw them in jail. It's a cultural thing. It's their culture. Their culture is to be very humble and very courteous, and whatever job you do it 100%. You do it to the best of your ability. And they don't disrespect people. So if you work at 7-Eleven, people say thank you. Like, hi, they appreciate what you're doing. They have old ladies cleaning the trains. Everybody says thank you. Everybody appreciates what they're doing. So there's just an appreciation for hard work. And if as long as you're working hard and you're doing your job well, you get respect in Japan. It's just really easy to get respect. You just do your freaking job and they respect hard work. They're not gonna look at you and go, you're a sucker for, cleaning the train or whatever you're doing. Well, you got to do a job. I was a janitor once. One of the best learning lessons I ever had. So you learn how to work. You learn how to please a boss. Um, and that's the benefit of a YouTube channel is because you can try out ideas. and you can see if it works. There's a lot of videos that I do that just fall flat. Maybe I was too angry, maybe I yelled too much, maybe I put too much words, maybe the title was bad, maybe people aren't interested in it, maybe it's something I'm only interested in. And we're like, you should do long format. Well, long format, that's a whole different thing. That's something I am working on. I'm in the works doing that. But there's a lot of preparation to do things correctly. You just don't come out and do it. You want to, and the first time you do something, no matter how much you prepare for it, it usually comes out not very well. And it's a little bit frustrating. It's a little bit of a downer. So you have to be able to work through these downing moments. You're like, I tried, it sucked. But you got to try again. You will get better over time. You really will. 20 years in the military, I supervised hundreds of people. Everybody has the potential to do well. Everybody. And most people that are sitting around, the reason they're sitting around is because they don't know what to do. And as a supervisor, it's your job to help them, not to go up and say, "Why are you sitting around?" Why don't I? He doesn't want to sit around. He wants to be part of the team, jerk. So why don't you teach him something? Maybe he's got something on his mind. If you got to sit there and listen to one of your people for 10 minutes, frickin' listen to them. They might have nobody to talk to. That's a piece of equipment. Your guy is more important than the aircraft. It's the guy. That's the guy that fixes the airplane. Without him, you're nothing. And as a supervisor, if you can understand that, and if you can help your guys, if they give you the opportunity to help them, I don't get angry. Someone's in jail? No, that's my opportunity to show them that I'm here to help them. That's my opportunity to pick them up and maybe just listen. And maybe I might get a hint of how I can help. Maybe he didn't have a dad. Maybe he's just pissed off. Maybe he's an alcoholic. Maybe he's got some stuff going on with his wife and kids. Maybe he's going to kill himself. Right? Do I need to go by your house? Let's grab your guns. You don't want that in the house. Just take them out. I'll hold them on to you. Hold on for them. I'll hold your guns for you. They're always here if you want them. Matter of fact, we'll go shooting next weekend. So it's just like you need to kind of help people out, man. And if you do as a supervisor, you will have like a team of people that don't want you to go. They don't want to see you fail. And if you can win over your guys like that, a lot of people don't have leadership. If you go to college, I don't know how much leadership training they give you, but in the military, it's constant. You get frontline leadership, all this kind of leadership training. And in most cases, it sucks because where you learn how to lead people is by leading people and making those mistakes and feeling bad for it, paying attention to people, not being a psychopath. Hogs 14, I want to visit Tokyo someday. Tokyo is awesome. Man, it's such a paradise there. It's really great. Go when there's good weather though, because it's hot. Unless you're used to hot weather, hot and humid. For me, I'm used to it, so I just go during the summer. It's cheaper to go there. But yeah, you'd be surprised how hot it is. Paul Martinez, get to know your people is the key. Yes, Paul Martinez says take an interest in their life. Absolutely. Paul Martinez, I believe this is one of my mentors. So this is an individual that helped me. And that's something I noticed about him is very popular. He wasn't the highest ranking guy in the squadron, but he had, and I'm telling you, I never forgot this. And when I got a DUI, and destroyed my career. I really did. Everyone else that got a DUI when I got mine got kicked out. They're done. That's it. But Master Chief and a few people just they stuck up for me. They plus I quit drinking. I didn't know I was an alcoholic, so I totally quit drinking. I was like, damn, I didn't even know this was a problem. I blacked out, had some issues. But even though the individual that I'm talking about, Paul here, he wasn't the most high ranking guy, but he had people behind him. I mean, no one above him wanted him to be pissed off. That was something that was not good. And some people didn't like the fact that he had that kind of power, but he knew how to negotiate with those individuals. Not kiss their ass, but just let them know that I'm a value to you. I'm here to serve you also. And I saw that also. I saw the little negotiations that he did with the people above him. And because he had good ideas. Also, I would much rather work for somebody that has a good idea. I don't want to work for somebody that doesn't have good ideas. So if you have someone that has good ideas, that listens to you, he can obtain a lot of power, and it makes life better for everybody. And you can move up. Sometimes you don't want to move up. Sometimes you just want to be yourself and you want to take care of the people around you. I changed as a person after I realized that it's not about me anymore. And that's why I got in trouble. That's why I drank alcohol. It's because I was very self centered and I was so worried about being the best, but I didn't understand how to become the best. I didn't know what leadership was all about. So that happened at my 10-year mark. So I don't know if Paul knows this, but right after I wanted to call you and tell you this because so after I got my DUI, of course, I'm not going to make Master Chief. I could have made Chief, but I just didn't. I kept with that same I'm going to just take care of my guys kind of thing, and I was enjoying myself. I had a good position in every squadron I went to, and when I finally went to the last one, I said I do not want to make chief because my buddy got extended. I've seen two people extended. I wanted to get out. I had a job lined up, made a lot of money. It was fantastic. But so what happened to me is after I got my DUI, 2 months later, the First Class Association nominated me to be president. Unbelievable. Could not believe it. I don't even know how. I remember I remember after I got my DUI, I basically admitted I was wrong. I cried in front of all of them. I was just so hurt that I would do that to myself and that I embarrassed my pay grade. And and then I think someone nominated me. Someone nominated me. There was like six different first classes that went up for it. And yeah, I was became the first class FCA president. Yeah, that was awesome. And then the vice president, he'd been the president before. And this guy was awesome because he used to drive, he lived next door to me and like he used to drive me to and from work even before this happened together, because he was like helpful. He was a first class that helped out another first class and I couldn't drive because I got that DUI. And he helped me out because I was like, man, I've never done this before. And he had all kinds of ideas, and just together we worked together, and we made a lot of money for the first class. We did parking for the concerts. Man, we'd come back with tons of cash. We'd buy pizzas for the entire command, and it was really great. So it really gave the first class association, some power. So then they nominated me for Sailor of the Year. Can you believe this stuff? So I went up for Sailor. This is like 2 or 3 months after my DUI, right? And they nominated me for Sailor of the Year, and I went up against like Compton and a few other shit hot sailors. And but I remember Master Chief just going, "I cannot believe you're here. Who?" And he is the first class association president. But that Master Chief saved my career. He really did. He's the one that said, if they take your crow, just tell them you want out. You're too smart for this." And but I didn't make it. Compton did, and he made chief too. But yeah, again, they asked me what my fourth general order was or something. I was like, man, I don't know that stuff. And I laughed. I'm like, you're kidding, right? And they're like, no, we told you had to memorize all those for this board. And I was just like, oh man, I thought we were going to talk about the important stuff. So I just kind of just didn't really take too much serious. Yeah, I just never have taken my test or something like that too serious. Um, and I don't know. I think my goal, just like this YouTube channel, is subscribers. Not even make them. Money is nice, and I do make some money, and I do get free stuff, and all my clothes are free. Most of my clothes are free. It's sent to me by my sponsor. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So anyway, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. I bring him up a lot because there is it's a huge lesson in my life, and it really led to there's pivotal moments in your life that change everything about you. And if you don't change, if you stay the same, you're gonna be the same loser as you were before. If you're an alcoholic and you keep drinking, you're gonna be a loser. So you got to change these things. You got to do that. Paul says, awesome, brother. So that's Paul Martinez. He is currently probably still working. Me, I run trademarks and a few other things. I'm so spoiled. Yeah, a lot of things have gone well. So Nifty Deal says, hello again. I know I mentioned Southern California in the past. What specific areas would you recommend in terms of affordability versus potential for a home purchase? Any local insights? Appreciated. There's anything close to the mountains, like the smaller cities, not up against the mountains where the fires are at, but any place close to the mountains is generally good. Everything has pretty much got pretty expensive. So we do have BlackRock purchasing some homes. Um, and unfortunately, they put in affordable housing in the city below us. And affordable housing, what's that? Now, why would they do that there? Well, because there's a street down there they're trying to destroy. They want to destroy it. So one Walmart has already gotten closed. They're trying to get another Walmart closed. Once these two Walmarts close, the red tape will be killed for BlackRock. They'll be able to come in. They'll be able to build new apartments, not apartments, condos, and yeah, they're going to own it, and it'll get nicer. Now, if I was a jerk, I'd say that's fantastic because eventually it's going to get nicer, but it's less affordable. I want my daughter to be able to buy a place. So it's really hard to get a home right now. But if you can afford it, getting a little bit out of the San Gabriel Valley. So Los Angeles sucks. And then the closer you get to Los Angeles, like Alhambra, San Gabriel, San Marino, Pasadena, these places are really crowded. They suck, but they're expensive as all get out because you're close to Los Angeles. So for me, I've always had a goal not to be stuck in traffic, so I would never live that kind of lifestyle. Okay, so that's one thing. You guys don't like traffic. If you're on the freeway and you look to your left and you see that it's bumper to bumper, you should not be in that ever, ever. You want to be on the side that has no traffic. So that means that you work different hours or whatever you're doing. That's like an hour, 2 hours that you sit in traffic, 3 hours maybe a day. Total waste. I listen to audiobooks. That's not good enough. You need to work, guy. You need to work. You need to work. But I would say Glendora is pretty nice. I mean, they're all really nice, but you got to pay, man. Like my city is like it's just gorgeous. It is beautiful. Like if you saw, I live right by the village, so it's really nice. And it's just beautiful. They got Christmas lights. I mean, now it's just become really wealthy. You go down the village, you got Porsches, Ferraris, it's just unbelievable. But it's great. Burger joints, ice cream parlor. Um, nice cities in California. We don't have crime. We got our own police department. So if you're not from here, they're gonna pull you over. They know every car that's supposed to be here. I met the cop that does our local area. He's like, "Oh, I know where you are at. You're midway through the block." I'm like, "Dang." He's like, "I know everybody's car." He goes, "This is my beat." They know everything. Like police are pretty smart. They do their job. Like you think you know your neighborhood good, they know their neighborhood real good, unbelievably. And if you're not from here, yeah. We had a porch pirate. That porch pirate didn't even get down the street. I'm on a dead end, so didn't even make it halfway down the street before the cops got her. Yeah, two motorcycle cops and a car showed up, just surrounded her. Bam, bam. It's just like they don't mess around. Other than that, that's the only crime I've ever seen since I've been here. But if you go down to Los Angeles and all, or any neighborhood they're trying to destroy, and they try to destroy it. Just the way it is, guy. That's how they make money. You know. Jagger Bank says, "Yo, what's up?" Jagger says, "Do a flip." I cannot do a flip. I can do a handstand. That's about it. Roseanne, yes, I'm glad they are. I love that. Uh, Bob says, "It is you again." Yes, it is. How's it going, man? Did you come by earlier? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see if Bob's. Yeah, Bob, 664. Yeah, I'm still here, man. I'm going on 109 minutes of straight talking. Unbelievable. How do I have this type of energy? Yeah, I don't know. I'm crazy like that. Yeah. Always have energy. Always have it. I'm just blessed with just tons of energy. Always have been. All right, so let's take a look at The Office, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So this is where I do YouTube videos. Check it out. So I got different lighting. I do colored lights too. So everyone's like, "Oh, you look pink today." Well, because I have different lights that provide different types of lighting, and I got different lighting over here that kind of lights up this. I got a little sign. I got different lights that do different things. It's one of my trademarks, guys. Magic rocks. They grow in water. One of my trademarks. It's a good trademark. And then these things, can't talk about these on a live video, but I got all kinds of these. And I do videos on these and those. And then my camping equipment. So I do a lot of backpacking and different things like that. I got a few videos on backpacking gear, and I love backpacking. It's fantastic. You can get way out there and just do some cool stuff. Why do you do it? Why do I do it? Because it's good practice. Because I want to eventually learning how to talk, learning how to read comments. All this takes practice. And the more you do something, the better you are. It's like my YouTube shorts. My YouTube shorts do pretty good. Um, and but they could do better. And like there's some people that always get viral videos. They're smarter than me. That's just the way it is. Even if they're like 22 years old, it's very there is no one fluke. It's very difficult to make a YouTube short get anything more than 1,000 views. Yeah, if I do a bad, and it's not because I have subscribers. So the thing is if I do a bad video, nobody really watches it. You guys don't know that because I delete them. There's a lot of them that do not do very good. It's just the way it is. Sometimes I get like, I'm going to do a quick one. Nah, the quick ones don't do good. Like we could look at one of the quick ones I did today. Because sometimes I'm motivated just to do a quick one. Because sometimes the quick ones will do good. Let's see. Let's see if my quick one did any good. No, it's got 122 views. It's not good. I like this one though. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. There are some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants. Yeah, it takes a lot of like editing, you know what I'm saying? Oh, TaxSlayer. Check out TaxSlayer. TaxSlayer is the place you want to go. But like I edit different music and. What did you think of the service? What did you think? Did you like it? Did you find it exciting? Not too exciting, was it? Yeah, something that one particular side does that really pisses me off is they kind of they categorize me as a white guy, and white guys are a certain way, right? But they categorize Hispanics, and that shit pisses me off. It really does. Because every time they're talking about Hispanics, they're talking about fruit pickers or people that are taking out your trash or some, like, who even says that? Like it really pisses me off because like, I mean, Paul's no longer here, but Paul is like, I learned everything from that guy basically. You know what I'm saying? And he's Hispanic, like really Hispanic. My best chief was Hispanic. And that's another guy that taught me how to treat people right. I don't know if it's because, oh, you're still here. Great. Now I'm embarrassed. My other chief was Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. He was like, just out of the blue, he's like, "Hey, Inglesby, since we're here, let's go get some tacos together." Like, dude, are you serious? Like, let's go get some tacos. I didn't even know they had tacos at this place. So we got some tacos. And he did talk about work. He wanted to know. We just talked like we were just hanging out. I didn't even know you could hang out with someone like that outranked you like that. Like hanging out, hanging out. So I learned that from him. These guys, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, when they categorize certain people as something, so basically, I felt that this lady was, when she says, the people that take out. The people who pick our crops
and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work. What did you think of the service? What did you think? Did you like it? Did you find it exciting? Not too exciting, was it? I think it was a good service. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Brad. Make it much better. There are.
That's cool. You like that Mexican American one at the end? Here, I'll pause it. Look at that. Mexican Americans got the two eagles. And look at that. We both bleed red, man. It just it pisses me off, dude. And the thing is, it's the college crowd. And maybe not all of you, but it's got to be at least here, because I know a lot of these guys, because I live next to these people, man. And God bless them. But man, come on, man. You don't know nothing about nothing, dude. You know about your job. You went to your job to be a salesman of computer, blah, blah. Great. Stick to that. You work in your backyard, bro. Like, I'm retired. I can work on my backyard. You've literally went from mama's house to USC to now working in your backyard, and you're going to tell me what the rest of the world's like? Dude, shut the fuck up. Seriously. And yeah, a lot of the Hispanics are the ones that do the yard work. But guess what? They own the company. They own the business, and they probably have 2 homes just below us or in this town. If you sit down and talk to people, like the guy that came and tinted my windows, I gave him $500 to tint my windows, right? He's Hispanic. He's got a home right next to me down the block. Thing's worth $1 million. So it just, I don't know, it just pisses me off, you know? So that kind of stuff kind of irates me, you know, about, and it's hard for me to retain that. Like, and then, of course, and then that lady's acting like they're the good people, like they're the good guys. Like, dude, it's so cringe the way you're talking about particular groups of people. Like, you're clueless, lady. It's aggravating. It's aggravating. And for people that have worked with multiple races, you don't. I knew how I was before boot camp. I was ignorant. I mean, really. I mean, yeah, I had a few friends that were different, but not much. Mostly Asians, for that matter. It's just aggravating. You know. Bob says, "What do you do if someone that cusses? If I cuss, or if people cuss too much, or you cuss, I don't care if you cuss. Yeah, you guys can cuss. I'm not too sensitive about it. I don't like when someone does it on a podcast, because maybe I'll be listening to that and my wife don't like it. So it's just like, it's just like, can you, or my daughter, like, you know, like Joe Rogan sometimes says a lot of dirty words, and you're like, man, now I got to mute you because I can't walk through my house and do my work and be listening to you saying F this, F that, F this. It makes my wife, who doesn't know who you are or knows what I'm listening to, going, who is that you're listening to? You see what I'm saying? So it's something that a lot of people that cuss a lot fail to understand. It's not maybe me, it's probably the people around me. You know, you shouldn't care. You should tell them to shut up. Dude, it's my wife. It's my kid. I don't want them to hear that stuff. I don't mind it, but that's how it is. Nifty. Looks like Glendora is around $800K for the average home. Wild HOA fees. Maybe later in life. Can't believe the salaries make up for the cost of living in difference. Yeah. Well, $800K will get you a fixer-upper. Yeah. That's a fixer-upper big time. So, big time. Yeah, I've looked at 800. Yeah, they're, because right now the labor rates are just crazy, and HOA fees are just off the chain. So all the newer homes that BlackRock put up, and they did it all up here. I mean, dude, they're building so many homes, bro. It's crazy. The HOA fees up there are like $500 to $600 a month. Yeah, I do my own yard work, and it costs me nothing. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't even know how a lot of these people afford it either. Bob says, because I am 10. Yeah, man, you're 10 years old. You don't want to hear a bunch of dirty language all the time, right? Is that what you're talking about? You got a lot of patience to listen to this old guy and come by, though. That's good. 10 years old, you know what you need to start doing? You need to ask your dad about a Roth IRA account. All right. And he can set that up for you. You can actually start an IRA now and have him start investing for you. By the time you're 20, By the time you're 30 years old, you'll have millions in there, well over millions. Joseph, and a Roth IRA is about $150 a month. That's it. And you don't have to pay taxes on it when you take it out. So when you're 30 years old, you don't have to pay taxes on that money. It's free money. Now you're thinking, who cares? What you will care. Trust me. Trust me. My mom got a standard. She gets taxed to oblivion. Plus, she loses her Social Security on that thing. So some things are a bad idea. Joseph, if you could create a perfect world, but had to erase your existence from it, would you choose to do so, knowing you would never see the world you made? Well, I think who did Jesus or who did the Lord discipline? Was it Moses? Never saw the promised land, right? I think it's Moses. Yeah. So he never saw the promised land. I think it was Joseph or man, I am forgetting. I've been talking a while. But anyway, a very famous person in the Bible that we probably all know, and I can't remember his name, never saw the promised land. Yep, never saw it. And the reason he never got to see it is because the Lord told him people were thirsty, and he struck the Lord told him to strike the stone, and if you strike the stone, water would flow. And the way he struck the stone and what he said before he struck the stone made it seem like he was taking credit for the Lord's work. And he said that you were never going to get that. Don't take basically that the lesson there is don't take the Lord's glory. Whatever you accomplish in life is because of the Lord. The Lord gave you this power. The Lord gave you the confidence. The Lord decided that it's your time to move up. Don't you take the credit for that. That's why everybody says give the Lord credit first. It's important. Wow, my phone is almost dead, and I gotta go pick up my kid pretty soon. Yeah, she's 8 o'clock. Her practice isn't finished until 9:30 at night tonight. She's in a championship pageantry band thing. So yeah, she's gonna be flying pretty soon down to Washington D.C. She'll be in the parade down there for the 4th of July down there next year. Mr. Pallid. Hi, Stookie. You look like Obama. Yeah, that pansy ass. So I look pretty good for my age. Look at that. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Have a great night. Hogs 14. Paul, if you're still here, take care. Bob, I enjoyed this conversation. And yeah, it was awesome. Maybe we could do this more often. Maybe I'll have some more scripted content, maybe some more value. But yeah, that's cool. Hasta la vista, guys. Take care, and I hope everything goes well. I'm sorry for hold on a second. I am sorry for Scoob. I'm sorry for your loss, brother. So I've been there. I'm sorry, man. All right. If you guys are suffering loss, I am sorry. You know, take that moment to get on your hands and knees and pray to the Lord tonight, and I swear He'll give you that comfort that you never had. So give it that shot. We've all felt loss. All right. Give it a shot. Get on your hands and knees and give the Lord thanks tonight before you go to sleep. And I guarantee you'll have a better day, better sleep, and a better day tomorrow. So nifty. Cheers. All right. Thanks for your input, brother. All right. Thanks, man.